Good morning. In Soil and Water Conservation Engineering, Unit 1, which deals with soil erosion principles. At first, soil conservation. Soil and water are the two important natural resources and the basic need for agriculture production, as we know about that. During the last century, it has been observed that the pressure of increasing population has led to degradation of these natural resources. In India, out of 328 million hectares of geographical area, 16 million hectares are critically degraded, while 107 million hectares are severely eroded. That's why soil and water should be given first priority for the conservation point of view, and appropriate methods should be used to ensure their sustainability and future availability. Next one, water conservation. Water conservation is the use and management of water for the good of all users. Water is abundant throughout the earth, yet only 3% of all water is fresh water, and less than 7/10 of this fresh water is usable. Water is used in nearly every aspect of life. There are multiple domestic, industrial, agriculture use. Water conservation is rapidly becoming a hot topic, yet many people do not realize the importance of soil conservation and water conservation. Next, erosion. At first, the word erosion has been derived from a Latin word erodi, which means eating away or excavated. The word erosion was first used in geology for describing the term hollow created by water. Erosion actually is a two-phase process, involves the detachment of individual soil particle from soil mass and transporting it from one place to another by the action of one of the agent of erosion via water, wind, ice or gravity and its deposition. In soil erosion is often the effect of many natural causes such as water and wind. There are also human factors which increase the rate of soil erosion such as construction, cultivation, and other activities. What is soil erosion? The uppermost weathered and disintegrated layer of earth crust is referred as soil. The soil layer is composed of mineral and organic matter and is capable of sustaining plant life. The soil depth is less in some places and more at other places and may vary from particularly nil to several meters. The soil layer is continuously exposed to the action of atmosphere. Wind and water in motion are two main agencies which act on the soil layer and dislodge the soil particles and transport them. The loosening of soil from this place and transportation from one place to another is known as soil erosion. Next, what are the principles behind soil erosion? Are causes of soil erosion. First one, destruction of natural protective cover by discrimination of cutting of trees, overgrazing of vegetative cover and forest fire. Next one, improper use of land. While we use this land for keeping land barren, subjecting it to an action of rain and wind. Growing of crop that accelerates soil erosion. Removal of organic matter and plant nutrient by indigenous cropping pattern. Next one, cultivation along the land slope and methods of irrigation. Next, what are the types of soil erosions? According to the erosion agent, soil erosion is broadly categorized into different types depending on the agent which triggers the erosion activity. Are four types. Water erosion. Water erosion is seen in many parts of the world. In fact, running water is the most common agent of soil erosion. This includes river which erode the river basin, rainwater which erodes various landforms, sea waves which erodes coastal areas. Water erodes and transports soil particles from a higher altitude to deposit them in lower lying areas. Water erosion may further be classified based on different action of water responsible for erosion. First one, raindrop erosion. Second, sheet erosion. Third, rill erosion. Fourth, gully erosion. Next one, stream bank erosion. Next, slip erosion. And first, wind erosion is the most often witnessed in dry areas wherein strong wind push against various landforms, cutting through them and loosening the soil particle, which are lifted and transported towards the direction in which the wind blows. Best example of wind erosion are sand dunes and mushroom rock structure typically found in deserts. Next type of erosion is glacial erosion, also referred as ice erosion. It is common in cold regions at a higher altitude. When soil comes in contact with large moving glaciers, it sticks to the base of these glaciers. This is eventually transported with the glaciers and that starts melting. It is deposited in the course of the moving chunks of ice. Next one, gravitational erosion. Although gravitational erosion is not as common phenomena as water erosion, it can cause huge damage to nature as well as man-made structure. It is basically the mass movement of soil due to gravitational force. The best example for this are landslide and slumps. While landslides and slumps happens within the second, phenomena such as soil creep takes a long period for occurrence. Next one, what are the agents which behind soil erosions are? First one, wind, water and gravity. In wind, which is caused by wind velocity, while waters will be classified into two types. First one, water forms, second one, glaciers. Glaciers, as we know, it's formed in the landslides and glacier erosion. While in water forms there are three types. First one, rainfall, second one, runoff, third one, reservoir and oceans. Whereas in rainfall, which cause splash erosion, while in reservoir and oceans, which cause bank and coastal regions. Next one, in runoff, which is subdivided into two. First one, surface runoff, second one, subsurface runoff. In surface runoff, it could contain four, which is a sheet on the internal erosion, rill erosion, gully erosion, stem bank erosion. While in subsurface runoff, which contain pipe erosion. Next, agent by gravity, which is the form of landslide, landfall, debris, creeps, etc. These are all the agents of soil erosion. Next, what are the factors affecting soil erosions? Are first one, climatic factor that influence erosion are rainfall amount, intensity, frequency. Wherein temperature, while frozen soil is highly resistant to erosion, rapid thawing of soil surface brought about by warm rains can lead to serious erosion. Wherein topographical factor, among topographical factors, slope length, steepness, roughness affect erodibility. Soil physical characteristics of soil have a bearing on erodibility. Soil properties influencing erodibility include texture, structure, cohesions. Soil with clay or sand sized particles less prone to erosion. Structures refers to a decrease to which soil particles are clumped. And vegetation is probably the most important physical factor influencing soil erosion. A good cover of vegetative shield the soil from the impact of raindrop. It also bind the soil together, making it more resistant to runoff. A vegetative cover provides organic matter, slows down runoff and filters sediment. Next one, biological factor of soil erosion. Biological factor that influence soil erosions are activities that faulty cultivation practices, overgrazing by animals. These factors may be broadly classified into following three groups: energy factor, resistant factor and productive factor. Next, mechanics of soil erosion. Soil erosion is initiated by detachment of soil particles due to the action of rain. Detachment of particles are transported by erosion agents from one place to another and finally get settled at some place, leading to soil erosion process. The mechanism behind water erosions are differentiated into three types, which is first one, detachment or loosening of soil particle caused by flowing water, freezing and thawing of topsoil and impact of falling raindrop. Second one, transportation of soil particle by floating, rolling, dragging, splashing, etc. While in decomposition of transported particles some place of a low elevation. First one, initiation of movement. Initiation of movement of soil particle is caused by several factors acting separately in combination. In the course of collision, grains rolling up and bumping off the surface, some particles may be bounced up. It occurs when the wind force or impact of moving particles is strong enough to dislodge stationary soil particle. Next one, transportation. Transportation of particle once they are dislodged takes place in three ways. First one, saltation of soil particles, medium sized and carried by wind in a series of short bounds. These bounds are caused by direct pressure of wind on soil particles. Next one, soil creep. Saltation also encourages soil creep, rolling or sliding along the surface of the particles. The bouncing particle carried by saltation strikes the large aggregates, spread up their movement along the surface. Next one, suspension. When the particles of soils are very small, they are carried over long distance. Finer suspended particles are moved parallel to the ground surface and upwards. Next one, deposition, which means, as we know, deposition, which means the deposit processes. Particle occur when the gravitational force is greater than the soil forces holding the particle in the air. Deposition could occur when the wind velocity is decreased due to surface obstruction or other natural causes. Next, what are the factors which affect water erosions? Are first one, Water erosion is due to dispersion and transporting power of water. As in case of water erosion, first soil particles are detached from soil surface by raindrop force and transported with the surface runoff. The factor influencing water erosions are discussed. First one, climatic factor, which we know is include rainfall, temperature and wind. Frequency, intensity, duration of rainfall are the principal aspects of rainfall influencing the value of runoff, erosion, sediments. Next one, soil characteristics include texture, structure, organic matter content, permeability. In addition, in many situations, compaction is significant. These characteristics greatly determine the erodibility of the soil. Next, vegetation cover is extremely important factor in reducing erosion at a site. It absorbs energy of raindrop, binds soil particles, slow down the velocity of runoff water, increase the ability of the soil to absorb water, remove subsurface water between rainfall events through the process of evapotranspiration, reduce offsite fatigue dust. Next one, topographic factor. The main topographic factor which influences soil erosions are the land slope, length of the slope, shape of the slope, etc. The slope inclination affects the erosion predominantly. As the slope increases, the runoff coefficient increases, kinetic energy carrying capacity also increases, surface runoff itself increases, but it decreasing soil stability. Thank you.